because a lot of times bureaucrats will just make crap up.
Yeah.
Like Callan, you just experienced this at the DMV where the bureaucrat there told you, oh, yeah, this document you have saying you're living at this place signed by the landlord, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
You need to get a lease, and you need to go to Concord because you're in Keene and you have no car. So how you're supposed to get to Concord, I'm not real sure.
Or valid driver's license.
Exactly. How can I get the Concord? Yeah, exactly.
Right, you're trying to renew a driver's license that has expired from New Hampshire because, again, you've been out of the country for a little bit.
Yeah.
And so the bureaucrat just lied to you, saying you had to go to Concord. You found this out because you called Concord today.
Thanks to you.
Well, I suggested that you do that.
Yeah.
But, and then you talked to a supervisor?
Yeah, I talked to Jeff O'Burbank. I guess I'm making him famous now.
And he told you what?
And he told me that he asked me. He said, do I have my passport? Is it expired? I said no. He said, do you have a birth certificate? And he said, make sure that it's either a copy or either a certified copy or original, which I had. Yeah. And then he said the notarized letter, which I told him I had. And he said, he said, I don't know why they would deny you. So he told me that he will talk to them, and that when I go on Monday, I guess they'll already get the memo.
Hopefully they will treat you the way they're supposed to treat you. Instead of looking at your address, which is this studio that you're staying here, but looking at that and giving you a strange response.
Yeah.
So the suggestion is that maybe because you're associated with us, that's why they're giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
So anyway, they lied to you. She just lied to you.
They did. And a lot of times these government officials are held to almost no accountability.
Right.
And they could just exercise their power trips and just treat people like inferior citizens.
And you escalated it to a higher level, and luckily you found somebody who was helpful. That's not everyone's experience with bureaucracy, right? Like going up to a higher level isn't like being at a business where the management might care a little bit more. In a lot of cases, the bureaucrats don't help at higher levels, but in this case they did. So we'll see what happens Monday.
I think every now and then, when you go up the food chain a little bit, especially if they get the same complaint over and over, then they'll be like, you know what? I'm tired of getting these complaints. Change it.
I've actually had the higher-ups in Concord, in New Hampshire, the bureaucrats there, be helpful on a couple of occasions where the lower-level people weren't. So I've had a similar experience. And, maybe it's because New Hampshire is just a smaller place and people are a little bit friendlier as well. Like, I've talked to bureaucrats out in Montana, and they tend to be pretty friendly there. So, like, when the bureaucrats are less anonymous and they're more likely to actually, see you at the grocery store, that kind of thing, I think they don't have that kind of nasty edge as much, as often.
Yeah, it's like almost like the invisible guilt. Like, I better treat him nice because I'm going to see him at Market Basket.
He's my neighbor. Yeah, right. Whereas if you're in this big city where, you never see these people in real life, they're just like, next. They don't care. They give you an attitude, and they're just nasty. So anyway, that's sort of similar to what was happening with Barrett here, and we're going to continue.
And it's interesting because, the state is doing, I guess we'll talk about later, is they're ruining his career. He's a journalist. That's what he does for a living.
Right.
And if he has to be control of what interviews he does, that may hurt the rest of his career possibly.
Yeah, then he's at their beck and call, whether or not he has the ability to even conduct an interview. And so, again, he's calling him out. He's saying, show me the law. Show me your policy. I want to see it before I start jumping through these hoops. 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733, Free Talk Live.